Who is Stephen Keller?
Well, Stephen Keller is a Liberian by water, blood, and sugar. I was born in Liberia. Mom is Liberian, father is Liberian. I'm an IT specialist by profession. I've been married for 16 years. I have
Oh
two
boy.
beautiful children. I have a beautiful wife. On the professional level, I hold a master's in information technology, and then I also hold a bachelor in network and communication management.
Dr. Positive. Where did that title come from? How did you come up with this title?
Liberia has so many issues, right? And there was this guy on TV called Dr. Oz. He had a show. He was a great doctor, but he had things that he wanted to do, and he wanted them to be done right. And so I was thinking about it. I said, hold on. Now, as a talk show host, you want to have some problem you want to solve. So what is this problem that Liberia have? Right? Liberia have corruption, Liberia have greed, Liberia have child molestation, rape. All these things are going on. So if I were to diagnose Liberia with a sickness, right? Liberia will then be positive with corruption. Liberia will be positive with rape. How can I find a name that will say we have this problem, and in order to solve this problem, I have to keep reminding myself every time I call this name, I know that Liberia have this problem. So that was one of the reasons I selected Dr. Positive. You understand? And then also, if you look at the problem in Liberia, brother, Liberians and people in Africa, basically, we are prone to corruption. This thing is in our blood. So how can you change the people mindset, those that have been so ingrained into corruption, into greed, and into all these things? How can you really change their mind without having a positive mindset? I call myself crazy to be positive. So when the show originally started, my thing was, hey, I'm going to listen to the heartbeat of Liberia. Right?
Sure.
When I listen to the heartbeat of Liberia, I'm going to hear corruption. I'm going to hear, greed. I'm going to hear that children are being raped. I'm going to hear that people are being killed. Right? And all these things that are happening, who is providing solution? Who is calling the government accountable? Who's holding people accountable for all these things? So again, as people watch, I want them to know that the show Liberia Shall Rise, the name Dr. Positive, every time you call that name, you're actually diagnosing a disease for Liberia. So that's why the name Dr. Positive means.
What do you remember about the Civil War? Where were you, and how did that war really impact you as a young person?
Well, I was in Liberia on the airfield, James Springfield to be precise. We were kids growing up, we had fun. We weren't wealthy, but we had enough fun. We played soccer, we played basketball. But when this war was coming, one thing we saw was all our older folks were kind of excited because of the trauma that they were going through. They said Charles Taylor was their hero. And this hero was coming to save all of them. Come to realize it was the wrong thing. Everybody was supporting the wrong idea, and most people got impacted. But, I don't want to talk about the atrocities that we all went through, right?
Sure.
I want to talk about the loss of friends, the loss of family, the things that we lost during that war that is even greater, that people don't even talk about. I'll give you a scenario. We had children that we were friends with, right? Some of our childhood friends. We lost those people. Today, we don't know where some of them are, right? You cannot tell. Some of them don't have a grave to even go and say, hey, I'm going to speak to their spirit. I'm going to speak to our soul. We don't know where they are. People like that we lost, brother. That's what really hurt me about what happened in the war. Okay.
When Dr. Positive goes to bed, and he starts to think Liberia, what is one thing that keeps you up awake at night?
Going back to what I said about, the fact that we have a country that people know that have all these wealth, right? Liberia, there's no need for Liberians to be living in poverty, and you sit there and be like, all right, why are we poor? And you cannot find the answer.